All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get the Thursday, December 11th regular meeting for the St. Mary's County Metropolitan Commission underway. I need approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes. No, of the agenda, I'm sorry. Today's agenda. Make a motion.
I got a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
A second.
Here in a second. Do we have any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? So approved. We got looks like 2 length of service awards. We'll do Mr. Pauls first. So Paul, if you want to come on up center stage.
We're gonna put it.
Right up there.
I'm gonna say some good things about you. I hope. I think so. That's what they said. That's both of them.
Skip over that.
No,
Okay. Paul Clements began his employment with the St. Mary's County Metropolitan Commission on November 30th, 2020, as a utilities maintenance specialist for Northern Facilities. Since that time, he has consistently demonstrated exceptional dedication and expertise, making him an invaluable asset to the Northern Facilities team. When he is not keeping our wastewater facilities running smoothly, Paul enjoys spending quality time with his family and cherished grandchildren. We are proud to have Paul as part of the METCOM family and look forward to many more years of his expertise and commitment. Please join us in congratulating Paul on his 5 years of service to METCOM.
let's do the certificate first and a handshake.
The rest of you will get on up there. Some of you get up there with him. Get your picture taken. Come on, I know he's got a couple of friends.
Did you get a pen? There's the good dude.
I mean, he looks like he's like.
$5. Congratulations, and I hope you're with us a long time in the future. Enjoy. All right.
And we have a second one. I don't know about this individual. Shyster. Gotta watch this one. William. Come on up, Pedro. Okay. I go camping with this one, so I know how he is.
William Eddie Pickerel began his career with the St. Mary's County Metropolitan Commission on December 4th, 2000, as a VACCON operator. Just 1 year later, on November 13th, 2001, he was promoted to senior VACCON operator. In June of 2025, Eddie successfully passed his Maryland C2 wastewater operator exam, an accomplishment that further reflects his commitment to increasing his knowledge and expertise. Since joining METCOM, Eddie has gained a vast knowledge of the wastewater system and its maintenance requirements. His proficiency and understanding of the sewer system has earned him respect among his peers, and he is considered to be an asset to the inflow and I&I team. Eddie has been married to his beautiful wife, Sherry, for 27 years. They have 2 children, Christina and JD. Eddie is also an active member of the Valley Lead Volunteer Fire Department, where he has served for 24 years. In his free time, Eddie enjoys traveling, camping with his family, woodworking, and cheering on the Washington Commanders, no matter their record. It has been a pleasure working beside Eddie, and we look forward to many more years of hard work and friendship. Please join us in congratulating Eddie on his 25 years of dedicated service to the St. Mary's County Metropolitan Commission.
At least I hope you still got some friends out there.
Come on.
Hey, here's enough for y'all. Some of y'all pick him up and hold him sideways. Sure.
Ah,
Get in that picture, bro.
with all these?
Yes.
Well, keep your hands to yourself this time. Come on, Sherry. Come on, Sherry, get on up there with the old man.
Yeah, get up.
We're having you up there anyway, Sheriff.
Front and center. All right, here we go. All right, got it.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. Appreciate Eddie, congrats. You only have 25 more years before you die. That's what Sherry keeps saying, if you want that new camper, 25 more.
Maybe they'll let me buy that new camper.
She retired in 6 months, but I don't know if the credit union goes. All right, we're going to continue the meeting. Congratulations to both of those guys, good guys. Did everybody get a chance to read the meeting minutes from last month? Yes. I need approval, motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 13th.
Move to approve the November 13th, 2025 regular session meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? So moved. We have a guest today, so we're going to move on to public forum. I'd like to recognize Mr. Chris McCombs, who has requested time on the commission agenda today to bring a matter to the board's attention. So unless there's any objection, I'd like to invite Mr. McCombs to come forward to the presenter's table at this time. Which one of you is?
I'm Chris McCombs.
Thank you, Mr. McCombs. Thank you. May I call you Chris?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you,
They're
Chris.
both names, Chris.
Yeah, and this is Chris Wood.
Thank you.
Okay.
And you are?
I'm Chris Bologna. I own CSVI. I've done work for the county, Public Works, Rackham Park, Metcom, actually.
Did you put the line in?
No, he's been there though.
Oh, okay, understood. Mr. McCombs, for the
Yes.
record, could you just go ahead and state your full name and address, please?
Yeah, Christopher Joseph McCombs, 22904 Town Creek Drive, Lexington Park, 20653.
Thank you, sir. I think we've all reviewed the materials and the emails and everything that's you provided us from the Phase 1 Waterline project. And you wanted some time with us. We do got a crazy schedule today, so if we can keep it 5-10 minutes if
Yes.
possible.
Absolutely.
I sure do appreciate that, and the floor is yours, sir.
So thank you. So to the chairman and Metcom commissioners, thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Chris McCombs, and you already have my address, 22904 Town Creek Drive. Metcom installed a new meter and a service line during Phase 1 of the Town Creek project. I've been here because the line installed under Metcom's authority failed under 4 years. I've been left alone to deal with the consequences of this project failure. I provided documentation, including a timeline and a summary, best I could, to the best of my knowledge. Before Metcom's installation, my original service line had never failed. After Metcom's installed a new meter on Town Creek Drive and ran a new service line to my home due to relocation from the previous meter, which is on the street behind me, the line failed in less than 4 years. The project used a contractor materials that did not select, yet I bore the full cost of now what is over $12,000, including excavation, replacement, and water loss. My situation is unique. I understand that. The new line was bored under 50 feet of driveway, just so you know, and 20 feet of concrete as well. This connected an old line for the last 20 feet that ran up from the behind my house to my actual where it went into the home. I was under the impression though that it was an entire new service line, but only 100 feet of it was and 20 feet was not, just so that we're straight on that. The failure occurred in the copper pipe under the driveway. Metcom personnel did confirm this on site with my excavation team. there was chlorinated water that was leaking from below, and they did verify that it was coming from underneath the asphalt. The pipe couldn't be retrieved. We tried, but we would have had to destroy the whole 50 feet of concrete or asphalt. I contracted Medcom personnel, Mr. Erickson. George was very pleasant. He said he was on it. I believed him, but then he did go silent, and I think that was because of insurance things. Instead, I ended up replacing the entire line. Then 1 month later, the abandoned line in the back must have failed as well. We pressurized the lines and found that had failed as well. And so I had to install a new connection to my home altogether. These are two separate incidents, a month apart. The old line, had it completely been abandoned, I do believe that this would have never happened, or at least we would have just only had to do this once, not twice. The previous homeowner also confirmed, Mike Turville is his name. I met with him, he still lives in the area, and he lived there for a couple decades. He had never had any issue also with the original line. So there have been no problems up to this point that I'm aware of. I'll skip this part in time for you. So what I'm asking at every level, just asking for some responsibility here for Medcom to work some amicable solution. Medcom has cited up to this point indemnity. I had to look that up. I never heard that word before. All right, to me, that's like you're punting the football to the other team and ditching responsibility. But legit did deny the claim underneath that policy. And the contractors ensured that I did try to go through. I tried to follow through. You have all the documentation on that. They said that they couldn't be responsible because the pipe was not pulled out, so they couldn't say what broke the pipe or who was responsible for the pipe. So they denied the claim as well. That left everything on me. The one person with no role, no say, and no control, the homeowner, was left paying this entire project. So I'm asking for fairness here. Just one, I'm asking for an acknowledgement. The pipe should not have failed. I think everybody in this room would say the pipe should not have failed. I did Google this. They said the pipe that you installed should have lasted at least 40 to 100 years. So 4 years, I think, is reasonable to say that should not have failed. Accept some level of responsibility to work with me, make an amicable solution. Ensure Medcom does not deflect future responsibility. Please do not do this to another citizen. If this happens, please call them, please work with them, try to figure it out, and just do what's right and fair. If we can do that, I want to work with you. I want to restore my trust in public services, and I hope we can do that here today. I did bring Chris Bologna here with me because he's done this. He walked the property. He saw what was dug up. And also, I have a letter from Commissioner Ostro that I'm willing to give to you before I leave here today, or I can read it, whichever you prefer.
Is it a short letter?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
feel
okay.
free.
And then I have copies for you signed by him if you all want that.
Yeah.
So it says, Dear members of Medcom Board, I'm writing the county as the county commissioner to express my support for Pastor Chris McCombs regarding the service line issues that arose after Phase 1 Town Creek project work at his residence. Based on the information presented, this matter has imposed substantial and unexpected costs and disruption on a homeowner who did not select the contractor, materials, or installed method. I respectfully request that Medcom give this issue prompt attention and work with Mr. McCombs to develop a viable, equitable solution, including fair consideration for reimbursement for documented expenses and related losses. I also encourage Medcom to use this situation to reinforce public confidence through clear communication and a responsible path forward. Thank you for your time and consideration. Signed, Scott Ostro.
Thank you, Mr. McCombs. So the line broke underneath of the driveway itself, is that where
Yes,
the
sir.
line was? And they couldn't fix that section without?
We couldn't pull it out, we tried.
Gotcha. And then when you were saying the second, so the 20-foot section that they didn't replace failed after they replaced the first section?
So the 20-foot section went underneath of a slab, so as it came out of the slab, there was a connection a few inches or feet from where it had gone underneath to go into his house. It failed, it's hard to say where it failed in the slab, probably because it was disturbed multiple times, 3 times, right? Once when they did changeover, once when the line failed under the driveway, and then the third time when you pressure tested and whatnot. So my professional opinion, which Pastor Chris understands, is that I don't believe that Medcom has a liability for that 20-foot section. However, the bore of the new soft copper that went under his driveway, in my opinion, would be a latent defect, and that shouldn't be borne by the resident.
What do you mean by latent defect?
It failed prematurely. It was a material failure prematurely than in the normal life of a material.
Why did it fail?
again, they couldn't pull out the pipe. It was a bullet bore, so it's a pneumatic vibrator head, and they slide the pipe in, and then the ground just encapsulates the pipe after you do the bore. So they were not able to remove the pipe, so I cannot say why it failed. But a bore, and I'm sure your construction team here would tell you, normally does not fail in 4 years. That's a very unusual circumstance. It could be they bored around some garbage concrete that was under the driveway, and in settlement, the pipe got a hole after a little bit of settlement. I mean, there's all kinds of.
Would be able to technically see.
Not unless we dig up the asphalt.
But all these possible reasons that you're pointing to are basically speculation. And there's nothing specific to say that Metcom did anything wrong.
No, I'm not even saying that Metcom did anything wrong. Metcom hired the contractor and they installed it and it failed it failed way earlier than it should have. It shouldn't have failed under 4 years.
Yes, what I'm saying is the homeowner expected the installation that would be 30 years, just like Metcom would expect the installation to last 30 plus years. It didn't, it lasted 4 years. And all the choice to replace the line set to the house was not the homeowner's, it was under the contract because you changed the location of the main tie-in. The
Water
design,
meter change location, so they had to.
right, because the water meter and Croc had to move locations, you had to bore under his driveway, so it seemed reasonable to expect that the installation would be warranted for more than 4 years. And the homeowner did reach out to Metcom's service department, and they would only investigate up to the meter. And they did work with.
They did. They were on property. I have no problems with any of the people that were out there and the employees.
Technically, Metcom's only responsible to the meter, if anything from the meter to the house is homeowners.
Correct. And I understand that under normal circumstances.
Exactly, under normal circumstances.
This was a brand new line that you all had to install.
That's why it was contracted out to a different contractor that Metcom did it.
That's correct.
themselves For that specific reason, I'm sure.
And it's something that you should give thought to because you have future projects. I mean, you did Patuxent Park and you're doing Southampton and other projects that are upcoming. Homeowners need, well, Southampton, it's hard to reach the homeowners. So there are going to be places from the Croc to the line set because the Crocs are moving that you're going to have to put in new pipe during the construction project, or to go around a storm line to make that connection. But if the connection starts leaking, who's liable? Is it the homeowner? And I know that the new RFP has a warranty bond on it. Maybe the warranty bond should be of certain duration, 5, 10 years. I don't know what your standard was. I didn't get a chance to look up the warranty bond that was requested.
The maintenance bond's 1 year.
Maintenance, it's on 1 year. Maybe some thought should be given to extending the maintenance bond.
Let me just clarify this again. So we don't know a reason why it failed. It could be failure of material. It could be, you were talking about settlement.
Well, he wouldn't have settled it had it not been bored again. I mean, you don't know where the bore head went. You don't know what the bore head encountered as it was going through the soils. The old line that was there obviously was functioning without a leak.
So did the contractor that put the line set in initially, were they the ones that bored underneath, or was
No.
that?
So Justin Brown is who did this. The first phase, I'm not sure who Metcom contracted. It's in the documents, I believe, that you have. Whoever you all contracted to do that. So I hired Justin Brown to come out when I knew Metcom wasn't going to do the work. So I fixed it myself. The intention was to come to you all and try to work this out. But I couldn't let the water keep leaking. I was losing like gallons a minute. I mean, it was, I don't even know where the water was going. We couldn't even figure that one out. But the line had to be abandoned. We tried to pull it out. We couldn't pull the copper pipe back out. So we bore a whole new line underneath, which is not copper now. And that was the solution. And then what I did do was to abandon that old one that was failing. Instead of going 100 feet to the back of my property to connect to the old line, which I wish we would have been able to work this out. I would have done this the first time. We came in the side of my house 80 feet in between the asphalt and the concrete, and then I put a new line service in. So what I'm proposing is that I pay for that part, but I'm asking for the 6,000 and 3,000 of all the excavating work. I would ask that Metcom consider paying for that.
So, is that for both repairs, the initial repair from the initial one, and then we talked about us paying for the second repair where once it was pressure tested, the old line that we didn't replace?
I'm asking for the excavation done. That's what I would ask for. I don't think that should have happened. If I would have known, I would have had done what I
would
did
tend to
now.
agree, but I guess, I mean, we're gonna discuss it.
Okay.
As a board, we're gonna get back to you. I guess, my thought process is, I could see our responsibility possibly in the initial, but for something that's held your house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1950.
And that wasn't replaced for it to break under there, after it's been manhandled on 2 to 3
Yes.
different occasions. I don't know whether we would do any responsibility. We don't know how rotted that pipe was or anything else. To me, it probably should have all been done off the initial if you were gonna go messing with something that's, I mean.
I agree with that.
That phase of Town Creek's gotta be probably 50 years old.
Yes, sir.
Would be my guess.
And that's difficult to do because then you have to have the homeowner hire a plumber because Metcom's not going to do any rerun the main in the home. So you try to go to the existing location where.
Yeah, understood.
So, Mr. Chairman, listen, if, at this point, I'm just asking for Metcom to
Yeah,
do the right
understood.
thing, whatever that is, and I hope it's
Absolutely.
something that will reestablish trust, at least from my perspective. My history is military. I got an MPA. I could easily be public services, but then the Lord called me ministry. So that's my background. So I also believe in fairness. So I do not think, and please do not let this happen to another citizen. And
Knock on some wood, I don't think we've had any other issues in the Town Creek area that I've heard of or know about, so.
well, I don't think you'd have to do what you did at my house. Mine was unique because the line, I don't know how this happened, but I never had a meter on Town Creek until you just installed it. It was always back on, was that spruce behind me or whatever?
Okay.
And it ran up the hill and came into my home. Yes, it was, but that's how it was set up. And so when you
It's
all,
been there a hot minute. I'm
when you all replaced it, I mean, that was great. I was happy. Now my meter was up front. That's all good to go. And the new line, I thought, man, I'm good to go. I'm going to die well before this pipe ever breaks.
Understood. Any other questions, Sharon?
Nope.
Do you have any other,
Would you like the letter from,
if we could have a
Yes.
copy of that? Absolutely. I appreciate that, thank you.
and thank you. And I apologize. Listen, my wife, it's her birthday and I'm taking her to DC tonight. So is it rude if I leave?
It is not, I would just like to thank you for presenting to us today, and we will definitely take it under advisement. We're going to discuss it, and we'll get back to you, probably be after the January meeting.
All right, thank you.
We've
And
got holidays.
I still think Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Tell
you.
Mom-
Thank you.
So you better have your birthday and treat her nice.
Thank you. I will. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Let's see. Everybody get a chance to look at the consent agenda? You want to flip through it real quick? Anybody need that time? Whenever y'all ready, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda for today. As written.
I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second? Second. Hey, sounds like we got some life over there. How's that shoulder?
It's coming along okay.
Good, good, good. Are you just getting on, or did you hear the presentation from before?
No, I've been on. I just unmuted so I didn't answer anything.
There you go, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thanks.
So I got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion, gentlemen? All those in favor?
All right.
motion so moved. We'll go ahead and move into new business. And I believe, going to talk about the fiscal year 2025 financial statements.
SB and Company.
SB and Company. That be it.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
I'm delighted and pleased to say that we have finally successfully concluded our fiscal year 2025 financial statement audit. I'd like to recognize and thank the entire fiscal team at Metcom for their hard work and dedication, which also includes my wonderful predecessor, CFO Patty Stickman, and also our external partners at SB and Company SB and Company. And at this time, Ms. Reese will take over and present the audit
Welcome, Ms. Reggie.
presentation.
Good afternoon. So we have a presentation about the audit for the fiscal year 2025. So I'm Renata Reyes. I served as the engagement manager this year, and I had Chris Lehman. We've met him last year. He served again as the audit partner for the 2025 audit. Okay, so we were engaged to perform an audit of the Metcom June 30, 2025 financial statements, and we also assisted management with the preparation of the financial statements. As a result of our audit, we did issue an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. So that's the best kind of opinion that you can get. It's a clean opinion, so it's some good results there. We did not discover or were made aware of any fraud. It was not a forensic audit or a fraud audit, but if we were to find anything, we would be responsible to then communicate that to you. We did not have any audit journal entries during the audit procedures that were noted. We also did not identify any material weaknesses in internal control, and we did receive full cooperation from management, so from Sean, Jamie, and their team. Okay, so on this slide, this just highlights our audit approach. So it's a risk-based audit approach. And then on this funnel, it really represents the time that we spend in each phase of our audit. So we did spend a lot of time on our planning, understanding the business, the risks, the industry. Then we did perform walkthroughs of controls, tests of transactions to identify the key controls, which I'll go over in a couple of slides. We also performed our financial close and reporting statement analysis, so really looking at the end of the year at the numbers. To perform our assessment to see are those numbers misstated or reasonable. We perform substantive testing, and then our audit is done in GAAS compliance with general auditing standards. Okay, so when we are looking at our audits and our procedures, we determine our level of reliance on internal controls by assessing control environments. And we do use a 5 interrelated component framework, which are listed here on the slide. It's a little hard to read the top, but it's control environment, risk assessment, information and communication, control activities, and monitoring activities. And based on our assessment, we have determined that each of those components and have assessed that they are effective. And this is really just a yes or no type of question. It's either effective or not effective. So we're saying that this is the green light that the control environment is performing as effective. We also evaluate some key processes. So process we've determined are the key processes. There's a couple on this slide, and those are the processes where we spend most of our time when we're doing walkthroughs with management, testing, transactions, as well as performing substantive procedures. And then treasury, estimation, financial reporting, and expenditures are 4 of those key processes. And again, based on our assessments, we have determined that those processes are designed and operating effectively. And on this next slide, there's payroll processes, revenue, and fixed assets, which also includes any construction in progress or completion of those projects. And again, we have assessed those to be operating and designed effectively. Okay. So then the next couple of slides, those are required communications, things that if we were to find, we would be required to communicate to the commissioners. So the financial statements are responsibility of management. So they are responsible for determining accounting policies and using the accounting principles. And they're described in the footnotes of the financial statements, which we have reviewed those policies, and we believe that those are acceptable accounting policies. And again, there are no audit adjustments, as I mentioned. We have not identified any fraud or illegal acts. We have not identified any material weaknesses. But if we had, this is the time where we are required to then communicate that to you.
Bless you.
Again, no disagreements with management, nothing really bad that we would have to report as a result of our audits. And then just the last part, we do perform some non-attest services, which is the assistance with the financial statements. That does not impair our independence. So we are independent of MECCOM. So I like to state that even though we do assist that, it's still management's numbers, management's footnotes that we just assist putting them together. So that concludes our presentation. If there are any questions, I'm available now, but if there's any questions, even after today's presentation or outside of audit period, our contact information, both mine as well as the audit partner, Chris, are on the slides, so feel free to reach out to us at any time during outside of audit period as well.
Any questions, gentlemen? Yep, looks like our team is on game and we're making sure of it, so.
Or they're hiding it very well. We know it's a good, efficient team around here, and we're glad that you've rubber stamped it. Looks like everything went well.
Yes, definitely.
Good deal.
Thank you, very comprehensive
Thank you.
report.
Thank you very much. Experience, you have a great day and have a happy holiday.
Thank you.
It's kind of like the SB company. I thought it was Sean Berthum and Company, and we were going to start calling you SB now.
Thank you.
So you hire people with your initials. I like that. That's very clever. SB and Company. Okay.
Sean, are you ready to go on to item number 2?
I am, sir.
Is that the tax sale deferral request?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon again, commissioners. As we do each year about this time, we update the board with information on the county treasurer's tax sale and the status of any active tax deferral request. There is a brief informational memorandum in your packages dated December 3rd, 2025, which contains some historical detail. I would like to provide just a bit of additional information, just a little bit more, since if it's okay with you all. This also helps me navigate this through the first time as well. As you may be aware, Section 113-14H of the St. Mary's County Code provides MECCOM with first lien on a property in the event of non-payment. The code specifically states, if any bill shall remain unpaid, after the due date, it shall be collectible from the owner of the property served in the same manner as other debts that are collectible in the county. The service charges and all penalties and late charges shall be the first lien against the property. With that said, each year, the county treasurer conducts a tax sale on all delinquent accounts for the county, including MECCOM. Basically, as of October the 1st of each year, if an account is more than 6 months delinquent, the associated property is included in the tax sale. In October, our MECCOM staff contacts each of the owners of MECCOM delinquent accounts. This year, there were 80 accounts consisting of 90 properties. We notify them that they may submit a tax deferral request no later than November 30th of 2025. This year, we have received no tax deferral request for your consideration. Just a little more information on this with respect to the tax sale process. There are several more steps on specific deadlines. The tax sale list will be sent to the county treasurer on January 2nd, 2026. The final tax sale letters will be mailed via certified mail to the customers on January 12th, 2026. Prior to the tax sale, the customer account information is provided to the county treasurer for review and update. The treasurer reviews the accounts for bankruptcy or other pertinent information and returns the final authorized list of eligible accounts to Metcom. The treasurer then publishes the tax sale list in the local newspapers bi-weekly, usually in February. The tax sale will be held live on an online auction on March 6, 2026. The customers will have one day to pay it until the prior tax day, which means they have up until March the 5th to make the payment in full. Once they make that if they don't make that payment, then it goes on sale online. But during that time, Metcom, we make sure to keep in touch with the county just in case if any payments have been made throughout up until that time. And we do that on a daily basis. So we will also be following up with the board, most likely in sometime of April of 2026, just to make you all aware of the tax sale that's defined. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Looking at this list, looks like it's got whittled down from 90 to what, 1 commercial and 43.
Yes, sir.
So, are y'all all game? Any other questions, gentlemen?
Nothing on top of it.
So I get to me. You want to move on to number 3?
Yes,
You
sir.
wanna bring up Debbie and Christie?
Yes, sir.
Coming up.
Good afternoon again, Commissioners. We have an information memorandum in your packages dated December 4th, 2025. We'll try to summarize our request today. The last DHCD, which stands for Department of Health and Community Development, just in case, loan in which Metcom participated was in 2024 for an amount of 11.7 million, of which all projects have been completed or are under construction currently, with only 4.4 remaining to be drawn. In fact, we just processed an additional draw this week of 600,000. We have several of the projects whose designs are now either completed or almost completed, that they are and will be ready for construction in the very near future. All projects are eligible for Maryland's DHCD financing. On December the 2nd, 2025, we had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Charlie Day from DHCD Local Government Infrastructure. He's the program manager, and his teammate, Daryl Connolly. We met here in this office in person, basically to discuss not only the particular loan application, but also had a subsequent loan, perhaps to have a subsequent loan, perhaps sometime in the fall of 2026. We found over the years that our preference is to fund projects using DHCD loans over MDE loans based on their project funding flexibility, greater eligibility, the timing of post-bid awards, the simplicity of the application, reduced restrictions on use, and expedited loan closing. But however, we still remain conscious of the interest rate differential, which can be up to half of the loan.
Charlie and Daryl are really great to work with. We've had a really good relationship with them. They personally handled the entire process from the beginning of the loan application all the way through to when the loans are fully drawn and closed. So it's a nice relationship that we have with them. There are 2 DHCD loan applications in your packages. They're attachments 1A and 1B. And that includes capital projects previously approved by both commission bodies. And they are listed on the attachments 2A and 2B. All of the projects listed in these applications have been incorporated into prior debt calculations and will have no impact on current rates and charges. The 30-year term application includes a request to borrow a principal amount not to exceed $35,993,383.36, which includes various CIB infrastructure projects, programs, and equipment. And then the 10-year application includes a request to borrow a principal amount not to exceed $1.235 million. And that's for vehicles and equipment purchases. The term of the loans is based upon the estimated useful life of a project, vehicle, or piece of equipment. Although the 36 million number seems relatively high compared to the amount of past loans and is enough to do a bond issue on our own, DHCD still plan to do a pooled bond issue to get us the best rate and to share the cost of issuance with other participating jurisdictions to keep the cost down. So that's a benefit to us if we do a pooled bond issue. It should be noted that the capital projects included in the request, that's the Loan 2A application, are either part of or associated with the consent decree, which has prescribed completion dates, are joint solicitations matching the county's timelines, or are water projects being bid or constructed at the same time or on the same site simultaneously with these projects, and are not easily separable from a construction standpoint.
There are several steps that you will note in the timeline section of the information memorandum, which includes concurrence to submit the application from the St. Mary's County. That's required in chapter 11, that's required in chapter 113-3C of the Code of St. Mary's County in January 2026, and ultimately a loan closing in May of 2026. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we prepare a motion for your consideration.
Do you have any questions? About draw for the loan for another year? It's pretty much standard practice every year.
We didn't have one last year. We skipped a whole year.
There ain't no wrong with that. Maybe after this one, we'll miss next year. Any question? Keith, you got anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion.
This one. Move that the board authorize staff to proceed with the 30-year term DHCD application process in an amount not to exceed $35,993,383, subject to the approval of the application by the Commissioners of St. Mary's County per Section 113-3C of the Code of St. Mary's County. Further, move that the board authorize staff to proceed with the 10-year term DHCD application process in the amount not to exceed $1,235,000, subject to the approval of the application by the Commissioners of St. Mary's County per Section 113-3C of the Code of St. Mary's County.
I have a motion, gentlemen. Do I get a second?
No, second.
Motion and second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Let me give Sean a little bit of a break.
Good afternoon, Sean.
A couple things to point out, excuse me, a couple things to point out in our audit. If you look at the FY25 numbers, our budget was 20.2 million. Our expenditures were 19.3 and our revenue was 19.9, so very good tight budgeting there. In accordance with our audit, we still have a $70 million debt margin, legal debt margin available, which we don't plan to use. We plan to keep that for emergencies. We're retiring debt at between $7 and $9 million a year in accordance with the audit. Principal amount retired was 7.02 million and interest was 2.19 million. So we retired debt very quickly. In addition to that, we have what they call a healthy reserve. That healthy reserve has allowed us to put over $19 million into our capital budget over the next 5 years. What that does is it keeps us from borrowing. So you heard that $36 million number. It could have been 36 plus 19, but because of our reserves, we're able to apply those $19 million towards those projects and keep us from paying those interest rates unnecessarily. So there's a couple of other highlights. If we can get into the capital budget, a lot of these slides are going to be repetitious from our October 23rd meeting. First slide, wanted to revisit our assumptions. When we talked back in October, we talked both operational and capital in terms of budget. I wanted to bring back just the assumptions we made in the capital budget. If I could talk through each one of them really quickly. We're going to try to maintain our capital contribution and our system improvement charges as we projected and predicted them last year. That allows customers to understand going forward what those rates might be. It also provides a little bit of consumer confidence. We included all of our estimates of 3% escalation per year for construction, and we also apply an 8% capital reserve. We're going to continue to prioritize funding associated with consent decree. In that loan that you just approved an application for, there were 3 major consent decree projects associated with it. The Forest Run Pump Station, the Piney Point Pump Station, and the Piney Point Force Main. That's the bulk of that request, along with the Southampton project you heard Chris Bologna talk about. That is a joint venture with the county, and we're sticking to their schedule. So we're borrowing only that which is needed at a time when we can. The designs are 100% complete. We're maintaining our level of EDUs. We're continuing to prioritize projects that prevent I&I. We're developing a budget that maintains our debt. We are utilizing our accumulated reserves, as I just spoke about. And we prefer DHCD loans. We'll probably talk more about that as we get further on in this loan approval process. DHCD loans are very flexible. They allow us to use the money across projects, whereas the MDE projects don't allow that. So if one project comes in low, you can't apply that to another project. DHCD allows you to commingle as long as you keep water and sewer separated. Some highlights for 2026 and 2027. We're going to continue our renewal and rehabilitation program. And again, these are just highlights of what you will see between now and April. So we've got several work sessions where we can talk about each project in more detail. We're going to construct a St. Clement Shores water storage tank. It's about a $7 million project in 2027. We're going to revisit the timing of our AMI project. As you recall, we came into the board, we talked about this new age way of reading meters to keep our meter techs from having to drive all throughout the county. We installed 3 gateway devices. They're $50,000 each. I think we sent emails around. Have an update for you. Those 3 locations are reading 8,188 of our meters, which is about 49.2%. So we are now looking at modifying our meter tech routes and making them a little bit more efficient. And then we're looking at some more places to potentially put these gateway devices. So that was a great project. We really appreciate your support. We're going to keep doing our well rehabilitation and replacement for Dwayne Cantrell and to continue to supply water. We have inspections. We inspect, I think, about 20% out of our 57 tanks every year. As a result of those inspection reports, oftentimes there's a lot of rehabilitation work that gets recommended, and we do that work through this project. Again, we're supporting the Southampton Water System project. We are looking at reprogramming one of the projects that's in our budget, and we'll talk about that to you when we get further into the process. It's going to allow us to redistribute the funds that we had allocated to some other higher priority projects. And we're going to continue our proactive generator replacement program. On the water side, we have about 92 generators in general, but on the water side, I think we have 5 that have reached their 20-year maximum and 9 that are between 14 and 20 years old. So we systematically try to pick 2 or 3 per year. They cost about $45,000 each. We do them all at once, but we try to do them at the end of their service life. So the question might very well be, when is that going to end? By the time we get done replacing all 92, we start all over again. That's basically what the process is. On the sewer side, similar highlights. Renewal and rehabilitation is a big deal. If you talk to any utility company, the thing they usually neglect is renewal and rehabilitation. They're always building new. They don't go back and take care of their existing infrastructure. Metcom has put a lot of money into their existing infrastructure to make sure that it is reliable. I&I, you heard that comment earlier. Some of it preliminary, inflow and infiltration. Grinder pump replacements. We've got over $1 million to go towards those projects, including manhole rehabilitation. Absolutely critical. Keeps the flows down at our treatment plants, keeps the chemical costs down, and it maintains capacity at those plants. Marley Taylor, have some good news at Marley Taylor. We had only about 1,200 EDUs remaining. We have looked at our flows over the past 3 years, and Christy and I believe, and we're prepared to submit a letter to the state to get their concurrence. We probably have about 3 times more capacity than we thought. The reason for that difference is honestly all the I&I work that this board has approved to be put into the ground to keep I&I and stormwater out of our system. And it's purely attributable to that. We thank the board for all your support there. It is a lot of investment, but it's paying off dividends. The Marley Taylor plant is a $40 million adventure. An expansion of that plant could be another 40. Putting a few $1 million in each year to preclude that from needing to be upgraded is huge. We're going to continue with the Piney Point Booster Pump. We'll work with the Volunteer Fire Department. Mr. Gould, Chairman Gould, thank you so much for arranging that meeting. We did have a follow-up. Christy and Anna went down there, and they sound like they're in favor of granting.
I have an update as of today, but I wanted to talk with you and Christie after the meeting.
Absolutely.
I'll shoot the quick points out later on.
Sure thing. Sure thing. And again, same thing with generators, only on the sewer side. We've got 15 that are already in excess of 20 years, so we're playing a little bit of catch up there. We'll try to purchase 2 or 3 of those each year. Next slide is a very, very simple slide. This is a slide from our public hearing in April, and also our presentation in October. One of the questions was asked, how much do these consent decree projects cost, these 3 big projects? Are they impacting our capital contribution charges and our system improvement charges? The answer was yes, to the tune of about $3,364, but they're projects we have to do. We will try to bring in our capital budget less than or equal to what was projected for 2027, and we've been pretty good at doing that each year. Likewise, on the system improvement side, exactly the same thing. Consent decree projects cost about 86 cents per year in terms of its impact, or 86 cents per month. You can see we're only talking $16.50 or $17 per month in terms of system improvement charges. For 2027 through 2030, both sewer and water system improvement charges are estimated to be flat. When we come in with the budget, we'll come in with new graphs. We hope that will be equal or less than what we had projected last year. That is our goal. So we just wanted to reaffirm those goals to you and give you some level of comfort going in. Raise any red flags if we could. We don't see any. So we think the budget will go fairly smoothly. And our next steps, December 18th at 11:30, Christmas party here in this building. You're all welcome to attend. January 22nd through February 26th, we'll have dedicated budget work sessions. Usually we get done fairly early. The capital budget's fairly simple. Operating budget's a little bit more complicated. We don't have any restructuring of the organization. We don't have a rate study. I mean, not a rate study, a classification study or a salary study, which sometimes makes things more complicated. We've already been briefed with the rate study and what we plan to do with that intermediate tier, so the operating budget should not be that difficult either. So hopefully FY27 is going to be very smooth for the board and for staff. Public hearing is tentatively scheduled for April 14th. We go through several other work sessions, and then on May 19th, the commissioners of St. Mary's County hopefully approve the capital budget and plan, which they're required to by law. And then soon after that, if not the same day, the Metropolitan Commission Board will do the same. And that is it in a quick nutshell. Didn't mean to gloss over it, but it really is just to reestablish what you'll be seeing probably in January, at the January meeting. And unless there's any questions, I'd be happy to leave it then.
Any questions, gentlemen?
Good here, thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I have for you all the design contract award for the Stark Drive and Block Avenue sewer main replacement. So as part of our facilities plan, this line was identified to be replaced to alleviate some capacity issues we're having down there. It really was in the modeling they did. It showed that it was restricting flow and possibly backing up into the manholes upstream. So this project will replace about 400 feet of 12 and 16-inch main with new 16 and 27-inch mains to alleviate that. capacity constraint. And this line runs from Black Avenue to our pump station, so it's the line that flows directly into the pump station. We selected the design firm, Jacobs. They are designing the pump station as well, so that way these two projects can be coordinated, and we're actually hoping that they can actually be bid together. That way all the work's being done by the same contractor, they're not stepping on each other's toes, and everything can be done all at once. I have included a motion for you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So this go all the way from Stark Drive to the pump station itself?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the end of Stark Drive and then into the line that goes directly into the pump station.
Is it going down Lodge Avenue and Stark Drive? Is it replacing this place too? Is it just the main, along the main avenue?
Yeah, it's just the main along Block
Thank you.
and then on our site.
Understood.
Yeah, the line along Stark and, well, I guess it's not really even Block, but it goes between Block and Stark. It kind of runs down a right of way at the end of those roads. So they feed into it.
Any, have a motion, if anybody would like to make that motion?
I can read this one here. Move that the commission accept and approve the proposal dated November 4th, 2025, as submitted under the engineering services contract number 21-10-E by Jacobs of Silver Spring, Maryland, for proposed design of the Stark Drive and Block Avenue sewer main replacement, number 5261 SR, in the amount of $97,768 as recommended by staff. Further move to authorize and direct staff to execute all documents relating to this award, including but not limited to all change orders.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any further questions or comments, gentlemen? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any nays? So moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kristen.
All right.
Have a happy holiday.
Yes, sir.
Don't go nowhere, though. We do want to talk to you.
Yes, I will be here.
Thank you. She's not in trouble, guys. If I had told Chris he had to stay after the meeting with him.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Put her in the corner.
All right.
Commissioners, this line item requires no real explanation. It will be published. It will be a published schedule. It is tentative and subject to change.
And as an add-on, the county's boards and commissions coordinator was provided this, and she was made aware that this was being presented to you today, so it will go on the county's website when they update everything over the holiday season, so that it can be viewable in January. Ours will be updated as well. Easy peasy.
You have to meet a minimum of 12 times per year. Oftentimes during the budget work cycles, you'll end up meeting more, and that's why sometimes maybe in the summer or in the winter you can skip a meeting, but 12 times is your typical required meeting schedule.
Looks good to me.
Okay, 12 of them on
There was.
Very good. And we got one more new business thing that's not on this thing. Do you have to read that? Slipping one in under the wire here.
There you go. We have an additional holiday leave motion. Move that the commission provide 2 additional days of holiday leave to employees on Friday, December 26th, 2025, and Friday, January 2nd, 2026, subject to Section 6.2 of the employee manual. Further move that any employees required to work standby or work in response to an emergency on either of those days will be compensated at time and a half for all hours worked.
So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. So any further discussion on this motion? Just Christmas and New Year's falls on a Thursday, and instead of making them work one day and then take 2 more days off, it's just gonna be nice because they work hard for us and give them a 4-day weekend, 2 weekends in a row. And then we're gonna expect you to work really hard for them.
Should have maybe done this when we had all those people.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Yeah.
That should have been our first line of business.
Yeah, I mean, they were smiling, but they could have been smiling even
That's right.
more.
I'm sure the word will get out.
It already is.
How could it be already out? We haven't approved
All
it
right.
yet.
They're watching live.
That's right.
Oh, you're watching live? Okay.
So we have a motion and a second. No further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Aye.
Hearing no
Aye.
nays, it's so moved.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioners.
They're all gathered around the screen over the other building.
Yeah.
Okay, I see how it works. Okay, very good. Yeah, I just heard,
They're muted.
well served.
All right, our future agenda items, our next tentative meeting date's gonna be January 22nd, 2026. We're in the commissioners' time. Any other commissioners got anything,
I have one item.
please?
I'd like to thank Tanya and the procurement team for our little bag of goodies and for our.
Yes, I definitely need that, I'm sure.
Yeah, don't we all? Yes, we definitely need it, but either way, we appreciate it, whether or not we partake or if we regift it. It's still appreciated that it was given to us. Mine won't make it home, I know that. You probably get eaten. So,
That's right.
thank you to them, and thank you, Laura, for our Christmas card. And may you all have very happy holidays.
Same to you, sir.
Gentlemen, you all have anything?
Just, wish everybody a happy holidays.
I have nothing.
I got nothing.
I got just two quick things. One, congratulations, Ron. Well, condolences. I told him not sure. He just got voted in Monday night as another year president of the Ridge Volunteer Fire Department. So I'm sorry.
Not sure what's good or bad.
I'm not sure. He did a few years and he got out because he understood, and then he got back in. And I've been there and done that at the fire chief side, and I don't know if we fell out of bed the night before these meetings or what happens, but congratulations nonetheless.
Sounds like a relapse.
It very well could be. Just a quick update, I'm gonna talk with George and Christie after the meeting about a little information I got about the Second District Volunteer Fire Department Rescue Squad project that we've had meetings with and talked to them. I did talk to both their new chief, which is their old chief multiple times over, Red Top Henderson, and the president right now, Eddie Stauffer, who I'm not sure who the new president is, but will be, but he still is until February. It sounds like they had their meeting last night. The general membership approved it. There was a couple stipulations that I believe they'll be sending you an email out, some things that they would like to put out and see if you're applicable to doing. One, they want to make sure that where we put it at doesn't affect their line of sight to the left when they're responding for the things. So I told them I'm sure we could set it back further if it does, whatever we need to do. I think they talked to the neighbors, and the one neighbor that's going up against, I think they might have had some concerns, so they were talking about maybe moving it a little closer to the firehouse if at all possible. And I said, I'm sure anywhere in that area, we can accommodate what we need to do, but they'll send that out. And I think they have a money thing you want to talk about, as well as they have their own grinder pump on site that doesn't belong to Metcom. They would like to talk to you about future maintenance if it ever arises, possibilities. So they'll send that out to you and on Monday, and y'all can work that out. But the board has pretty much said yes. The membership has said yes. Just got to work out the finer lines to get it facilitated.
Thank you, sir.
And again, I echo these gentlemen's sentiments about the holidays. Have a happy holiday and a safe holiday. Look forward to seeing you all next year. Great work as usual this year by the team, all the way down to the lowest person out there. And I won't even say who's the lowest person because it takes a team to do it. It's no single eye in there. So well done by all. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation. From somebody.
As you're looking at me, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation.
And I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We will adjourn the regular meeting and go into executive session.
All the stuff we shouldn't be eating. That's great.
That's stuff my dentist likes.
Well,
Ready? All right. We're out of executive session, back into, our regular session. Can I have a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing no nays, so moved. And then, last thing I ever need is a motion for adjournment, unless somebody's got anything else.
I know that we adjourned for this December meeting.
Have a second?
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, gentlemen. You all have a great holiday. Stay safe. I'll think about you when I'm in Tennessee between Christmas and New Year's. Gavin Bird, could